Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Civilization 6, which is currently in the process of receiving some new DLC, and I swear they said there wasn't going to be any more, but screw it, we've got some more DLC, and that's great, because that's an excuse for me to play Civilization 6, and I bloody love Civilization 6. So, what we've picked up is a leader pass. We're not gaining any new civilizations, we're gaining new leaders for existing civilizations, and I didn't think that was going to be too exciting when I first heard about it, so I am absolutely delighted that this thing has just delivered one of my new favourite empires to play as. So, say hello to Tokugawa, and I love this guy. He's the leader of Japan, so he still gets the same benefits that Japan already did in this game. Specifically, as you can see on the right there, all districts receive an additional adjacency bonus for being next to another one of your districts. So Japan was always incentivized to build densely packed together cities where all your districts are clustered together. But Tokugawa brings something new to the table up in the top right there. So international trade routes are kind of bad with him. They don't make as much money or as much tourism. However, his domestic trade routes, i.e. trade routes between your own cities, generally not something you're thinking about in this game. You're always wanting to trade internationally. No, for Tokugawa, they produce additional culture, science and gold for every district at their destination, meaning your internal trade routes can just be ludicrous. This civ, you don't only just want to play tall with all your cities packed together as close as you can rather than spreading out nice and wide, you want to play full-on isolationist. You want everybody to just leave you alone building a single ridiculous megacity that just trades with itself, and oh, I love it so much. It's also a super interesting playstyle because at the start of the game, you are very, very weak. But with every era that passes, you get exponentially more powerful. Which is why I'm going to be playing today on Deity. I don't normally do this, but I think Tokugawa can pull it off. Anyway, pretty standard game here. The extra game modes I'll have on are, the ones I just have on by default. Barbarian clans makes barbarians more interesting. Monopolies and corporations just improves the economic system a bit. Secret societies is just fun. Everything else is a bit too gimmicky, so okay. Let's dive in, because if I can get this civ rolling, oh, it is hilarious. Oh, and hello there, sexy starting location. Okay, disadvantage to Tokugawa. Because you don't get basically any advantage during the first era, you've got to have a pretty bloody good start, and this one is, oh, blimey. Okay, plenty of 2 food, 2 production tiles nearby, and right next to me, a 2 food, 2 production, 1 faith tile. I'm not going for a religion, but that might get me a decent pantheon, potentially, so okay, flipping hell yes, we're going for this. Oh, now we're off to a good start already. We've got this lovely spot here, next to the world's tiniest river, and that is, really nearby to Tokyo. We could build some districts here. This city could build some districts here. They all gain adjacency off each other. We have got more river, more mountains, more ocean. Oh, this is off to a good start. Okay, warrior heading south, a scout heading north. It looks like what might be happening is, yes, we're on the bottom of a small peninsula. And that is really, really good news. That means I can just, fill up this entire area with my cities, and I do not need to worry about any neighbours. Absolutely perfect. And I just got given a bloody hell. Okay, so this run is just blessed because I just got my absolute favourite thing you could get in this game, which is a free builder out of a tribal village. So, okay, that's just a free rice farm right there. That's irrigation boosted to absolutely flipping beautiful. So, oh my, that is one hell of a first 2 population. But speaking of which, now we're on to population. Tokyo. Change over to, yes indeed, getting a new city out, please. Also, why did you expand over there? That's a 2-1 tile. Go down to the 2-2s, you stupid bastards. No, seriously, this run is just blast. I have just discovered in the desert the Eye of the Sahara. Okay, it's a terrible, terrible wonder, but we're playing with secret societies on, meaning that gives me one of the secret societies, and, okay, I wouldn't normally go for the Hermetic Order, but on this occasion, actually, they've got something rather interesting for me. Because yes, indeed, normally I would go for the Owls of Minerva every time. Trading with city-states, giving you a free diplomat there, meaning basically you can just be the suzerain of everything, but in this game, I don't want to be trading with anybody who's not me. Instead, it's all about districts and ridiculous adjacency bonuses. So, actually, ley lines on the map are going to be really bloody useful. Now, have I got lucky? And oh, I have. There is a ley line right there on an otherwise pretty bloody worthless tile. So, okay, if you've never played secret societies or gone for these guys before, yes, if you join up with this secret society, you can see these things on the maps, ley lines. Basically, they give major adjacency to any district that goes next to them. And our first city-state to the north as well. So, hello there, buddy. What's your unique benefit? So, oh, flip me, that's a benefit for domestic trade routes, potentially. +1 faith for every follower in this city of your founded or majority religion. Okay, we're not going for a religion, so I need somebody to spread to me so that I can make it the dominant religion, so that I'm getting bonus faith. And better, nobody else has said hi to these guys, suggesting there's no one in that direction. This is pretty much what I wanted to say. I appear to be very much on my own. And this faith could really get me an early pantheon. Holy flip me, that's religious settlements. Okay, I did not think we were going to get that. We must have been really lucky with the other people who spawned into the world, because any specialized civ would be able to get to pantheon before me. Like Mali in the desert, no problem, because oh yeah, the AI just snapped this up. So right, well, we'll be having that, yes, absolutely. Okay, turn 22, slight issue in the form of, yes, some barbarians who have popped down here. But I'm pretty sure that you guys are, in fact, yeah, you're naval barbarians. So you're not going to be causing too much trouble on land, really. So here we go. As close as we're allowed to get to Tokyo, city number 2 goes down. Absolutely beautiful. And you, buddy, can start heading in this direction to get some farming in play. We've also got, yes, Mogadishu on this little sub-peninsula off my peninsula. Those guys are hang about. Trade units can't be planted on water. Completely useless for me because, yes, I'm not going to be trading over water. I'm going to be trading entirely among my own cities right here. Turn 28, my naturally built settler is already out and Tokyo is, okay, population 4, even with the settler just produced and producing another in 6 because, oh yeah, the honey and the rice, Tokyo is growing fast. Right, you buddy, you head over in this direction, nearby to this here volcano. Lovely. But more importantly, we've now got a campus. Okay, so, oh yeah, oh flippin' yeah, this is the stuff right here. There's a +4 right there. But I'm not getting rid of the rice. Okay, this is the difficult thing about Japan. When you're setting up your early big cities, you absolutely want all your districts to be next to each other. But you don't want to overwrite your most valuable foods tiles, at least in the early game, because you really need your cities to be growing. Because until you've got enough population, you can't build more districts. So it's a difficult balancing act. You know what? I'll take the +3 right here. That is absolutely a-okay. 9 turns. I love it. And another piece of the puzzle comes online. Foreign flipping trades. Okay, now I've already got our pantheon down. Yeah, get the trade policy straight into position. And straight away, buy a trader with gold. I've been saving up for just this. And yes, indeed, we don't want to buy it at Tokyo. We want to buy it down over at our second city instead, which kind of feels a bit unintuitive because most trading civs, you want to have one major trading city that's producing every single trade route. Japan works in reverse. The benefit you're getting is per speciality district at the destination, not at the source. So you want one megacity that you keep growing at all costs and everybody else sends out a trade route to that city, maximising the benefits. Oh, and hello, sexy. We've apparently got a neighbour. I was starting to think we might have this entire continent to ourselves, but unfortunately not. Although I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure where this chappie is. So, here we go, trade route number 1, and yes indeed, it is a sad thing. But it's worth it just to get a road down, and as soon as this campus finishes, life's gonna look a tiny bit better. Plus on top of that, that's the boost for currency. And oh yeah, we want more trade routes. But more importantly, here we go. Settlers. Nice and cheap, let's go. I'm willing to give up a tiny bit of gold to get that into production, please. In particular, yeah, leave the library for now. Let's just get more and more and more people out. And speaking of which, governors. Magnus. We want to get Magnus out as soon as bloody possible. Once he gets provision up, oh yeah, then we're not eating people to make settlers. And that's important, because I don't want to eat people. People are important for keeping districts coming in. Okay, turn 49 Ancient Era is literally almost over, but down south we've got ourselves Commercial Hub number 1 coming in, +4, right there. Oh yeah, you could get some lovely adjacencies going on right here. And more commercial hubs means more traders. Speaking of which, all of a sudden that trade route back to Tokyo is generating 2 food, 1 production, 2 gold, 1 science, 1 culture, looking much better. And as for Tokyo, they are about to produce a new settler, but I'm going to hold off, because in 2 turns, I'll get the governor title I need, so we don't waste a population. So, okay, you just switch over to builder production. For 2 turns, we do need more builders out anyway. We've used up the ones we were gifted. And there we go, Era 2. Ancient Era, difficult for Japan, but we were left completely alone, and that's what I wanted. And for the era dedication, naturally I'll be taking Monumentality, +1 era score every time I build a speciality district. Get used to me saying that, by the way. I'm going to be selecting it a lot. And there we go, we also finished the culture tech we were working on, so and now, settlers do not consume population. Beautiful. Back over to Tokyo, please. And yes, get back on at this. Now we're not eating people. Tokyo already almost at 7 pops. That's the threshold to build another district. And I'm pretty sure Tokyo can actually basically have 2 in a row at this point. There we go. New city is ready to go, and we have not lost the population. So, okay, buddy. Where do you want to be making your way? Yeah, I think about here would be pretty bloody nice, actually. Then you've got the pearls just in a workable range. You've got amber. Oh, and a ley line, though. Bloody hell, I had not really clocked this up here. 5 desert ley lines around 2 oases. Oh, that's gonna potentially be bananas, actually. Right, Tokyo, you get down your commercial hub too, and there is a, oh yeah, right flipping there. +5 from Leyline, City Centre and River, and also a hang the flip on. I think we might actually have a very tiny, obscure, snowy land bridge to the next continent over. Okay, not a land bridge over here, but we do have a brand new neighbour, Australia, and that's terrible news. Because for some baffling reason, I don't really know why, Australia often turned into the biggest dicks in the world. They just start wars for no reason. Honestly, I have no idea why. If you read their agenda, it sounds like, you know, they're super peace-loving and just want to liberate occupied cities and don't like warmongers. But no, every game these guys spawn in, they always turn into the bloody final boss for me, and he's already at war with somebody. Also, I have no idea what we did, but apparently we became the suzerain of the guys who might give my, yes, trade routes a little bit more faith. Possibly they wanted me to research sailing. The problem is, yes, their special ability does nothing until I have a majority religion. My pantheon doesn't count. So, okay, if somebody would like to send over some form of missionary, we would really welcome that. Okay, new governments have become unlocked. Obviously for us, a classical republic. More economic slots together with, yeah, districts produce 1 housing, 1 amenity. Beautiful. Great person points. That's going to be good as well. Giant piles of districts means, oh yeah, if we're lucky, we should be able to keep up with that game nicely. And yeah, for the time being, just focus on gold, production, expansion, and as we barely send to any diplomats anywhere, Diplomatic League, that'll work nicely. Okay, here we go. Turn 68, shipbuilding is done. That means we can start getting our scouts into the wider world and figure out who's nearby. And here we go, we've got new neighbours on the next continent over. So okay, we've got Russia, their science appears to be, yes, approximately the same as mine. Culture is way ahead, but honestly I feel like, yeah, I'm doing pretty well with my science not being too far behind everybody else's. And we've also got the Ottomans just over the water from us too. So okay, their culture game not looking so good, science looking pretty solid. But we've got some really good science districts going on. We've got libraries coming in. we're going to start catching up pretty fast, actually. Yep, natural philosophy, let's get those campus district adjacency bonuses up, because when you have got ridiculous adjacency bonuses, the ability to double them is extra sexy. Okay, market's done in Tokyo, meaning yes, we can generate a new trade up here in Sendai, and if we send that straight back to Tokyo, 3 food, 2 production, 8 gold, 3 science, 3 culture. Oh yeah. Oh, now we're starting to get somewhere. This is starting to look pretty bloody good. Oh, and here we flipping go. Campus adjacency doubled. So right now we're on 32 science. Let's just plug that in and give up a single production. And 42. Okay, now we're catching up with the big science lads. And better, governor promotion means, oh Magnus. Trade routes ending here provide +2 food to their starting city. So, oh Magnus is a beast when coupled with Japan. Bad news though, era's going to end a tiny bit earlier than I was anticipating, so I doubt we're going to be hitting Golden Age just yet. Though, to be honest, we're doing perfectly fine in a normal age. Oh, with great news, we've got ourselves a Canada. Okay, Canada could be trusted to, be nice and chill and not cause trouble. Looking at you there, Australia. Oh, and hang the flip on. I just saw somebody spread a religion to Mogadishu. Who on earth just did that, and why aren't you sending it towards me? Speaking of which, yeah, which actual religion would I like? Eastern Orthodoxy looks really good, so yeah. Free culture together with faith output, that's nice. Meeting house production, never going to flipping hurt. Shrines and temples, that would be amazing. I would take Catholicism. What's also science too, that'd be lovely. Warrior monks, I could do without that. Cathedrals are a bit boring, so okay. We'd rather not have that one. Divine inspiration, synagogue, world wonders. Okay, in the late game I might get a fair few of them. Early game, not so much, don't worry about it. Jesuit education. Everybody loves Jesuit education. Science and culture buildings, build them with faith, are brilliant. Then we've got relics and amenities, could do without that, and religious communities, that's international trade routes, that's not so good. So, okay, yeah, Catholicism would be really bloody nice. There's a bunch of good religions floating out there. Okay, Canada, if you're just going to show up and offer me great works in return for spare amenities I don't need, okay, me and you could definitely be friends. I happen to have ended up at 48 out of 50 on era score. There are 2 turns until the next era. I am next turn going to be able to buy a great merchant. That's entirely feasible. Okay, if I get really lucky, my scout could meet someone. Run into England, that's a point. Holy flip. Tokyo just hit 10, and then go over to great people. Alright, just buy the great merchant. Increases, that's a trade route merchant as well. You want to be sniping them regardless. Trade routes to this city generate +2 gold to both cities. That's actually like the perfect one for me anyway. 50 out of 50. Holy flip, we did it. Golden medieval age. That's what you flipping want to say. Okay, as tempting as it is to take, oh yeah, commercial hub gold adjacency as science, that would be incredible for me. Monumentality. This is the era we expand like crazy. Okay, so to expand now, we're talking, yeah, 475 gold or 235 on faith. Now, admittedly, faith is coming in a bit on the slow side. Definitely could have, invested more in literally any religious building, actually. But it's all going to add up in the end. It's going to be fine. Turn 93. Magnus is now as promoted as he needs to be for the time being, and we can start working on other governors instead. Ultimately, yeah, Pingala, going to be wanting him for giant piles of science and culture, etc. For the time being, though, let's get Reina working. The gold situation's looking good. In time, we might be able to start just buying districts with gold. So, okay, let's get you somewhere where there's plenty of unimproved natural resources. Takamatsu, that'll do beautifully. And up to this point, I've not been thinking about wonders at all. Early game wonders on deity, don't even worry about it. But I think this might be the time to give it a go. Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. Okay, that's just too good for me to leave alone for Tokyo, because there is too much ocean near Tokyo that's just going to be bloody useless. So, oh yeah, Great engineers, additional charge, that is an incredible ability. Bonus science, faith and culture to sea tiles. Let's get that in production right now. And with the harbour done, the routes to Tokyo are now generating a yes. 5 food, 3 production, 10 gold, 4 science, 4 culture. This is a basic city with 10 pops in it. It's beautiful. There's so much we can do yet. So basically, yes, we would like every city in the Empire to have one route going to Tokyo, and every spare trade route above that should be in Tokyo, trading with the second, third, etc. bigger cities so that Tokyo can keep growing as well. Let's start spamming some new cities out. Beautiful. Okay, so by the looks of it, yeah, we could squeeze a couple of tiny cities in just to completely lock down the area. Wouldn't be a terrible idea, but to be honest, I really just want to head up north and visit this ridiculous desert full of every ley line in the world. Yes, indeed. Thanks to the presence of this commercial hub and 2 ley lines, basically, this is a free +6 to anything, actually. Just 2 ley lines and a district means +6 for literally anything. And I know what you're thinking, John, that's fine, but it's going to take them 200 bloody turns to build the thing. That is not helpful to you. Actually, that's not really the case now, is it? Because if I just send a trader up to my new city, I can basically just turbocharge that city immediately. Alright, giant piles of food, giant piles of production, together with all the gold and science and culture I could possibly want. Okay, I know it looks like this is so perfect I must have planned it, but this is just sheer coincidence. I'm not good enough at Civ to have planned this, but didn't even notice sneaking up on me was Marco Polo. So, okay, free trader unit in the city, trade route capacity up by 1, foreign trade routes to this city, +2 gold to both cities. Now, how many people are going to be trading with Tokyo? I don't know, but I will flipping take yet more trade routes. Oh, and there she flipping is. We got her, our first wonder in the entire world, the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, and oh, I love her. I love her so much, she's beautiful. And straight away, the people of Tokyo are flocking to work in the sea, which is now producing stuff. Not 100% sure, like, how or anything, but it does. And finally, some of the foreign powers we've met are sending over missionaries. So, okay, what have we got and what would we rather have? So, Poland is sending over... Okay, that's the World Wonder business, though they have fully upgraded it, actually. So, synagogues is just a giant pile of faith. Missionary zeal I can do without that. Honestly, yeah, I don't think we want that, Poland. I'm very sorry. Okay, so it turns out I may not necessarily get a say in the matter. Poland is pretty bloody certain that they want me joining their sides. Okay, so we're about to end the medieval era, and as I suspected, Poland decided we were going to be, yes, worshipping their gods. We did not get a say in the matter. But that's fine because they did it thoroughly enough that we now officially have a majority religion. Which means the suzerain bonus of my buddies up north is just kicked in. And thus every trade route to Tokyo is now yielding a ridiculous amount of faith. We've also, expanded onto the Lefton Peninsula and over here just completing the circle around this lovely volcano. So we've pretty much taken a large part of the land on our starting peninsula and Tokyo has just hit population 13. So, okay, industrial zone. There is a beautiful +5 right here. It will mean getting rid of the rice, but we knew we'd have to get rid of it sooner or later. Like, I'm not turning down a +5 industrial zone. Okay, hang about here. The religious fight back may have just kicked off because Eastern Orthodoxy is rocking up and they are sending not missionaries but apostles. So okay, couple of apostles slaughtering some missionaries, that is going to tip the scales in favour of Eastern Orthodoxy in no time whatsoever. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not keen on this, okay? I don't really care what religion I'm worshipping. As long as it is one religion and I've got a clear majority, I get the giant piles of faith income, okay? Which syncs really nicely with monumentality. I do not need other nations waging a bloody religious war inside my borders. But you know what? I've decided I'm having a nice day after all, because I have just recruited this lovely chappie here, who's going to give me 0.5 gold for every district at my destination when I'm doing domestic trade routes, which, oh, that's going to make a big difference to me. So, you buddy, just Get in right over there. That was another, what, 30-odd gold a turn. Beautiful. Okay, funny old thing over in Tokyo. Can't help but notice no one ever bothered building the Temple of Artemis. And, yeah, Tokyo is struggling with amenities right now. A bigger problem we'll discuss in just a second. But, yeah, one place I could put it is right here. And this spot right here happens to be, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a plantation. That used to be a plantation. Now it's actually an industry. Not sure if that even counts anymore. That is, yeah, a lovely little honey resource right there. More dye plantation up in that direction. That's another 2 amenities for Tokyo. You know what? Screw it. Why not? But yes, you may notice there's a wider amenity issue. I find this happens a lot because, yeah, in the early game you want to spend a lot of time building commercial hubs for trade routes and campuses, so your science doesn't fall behind. Obviously, as soon as you do get industrial zones, put them everywhere. Entertainment districts kind of just, yeah, fall by the wayside a bit. So, okay, it's time to start thinking about that. Because yes, they can send amenities to multiple nearby cities. So say, this lovely spot right here, that would be a great spot. And there we go. Got myself a free Temple of Artemis. Marvellous. And with that, Tokyo is actually, yeah, for once, bloody happy with the number of amenities it's got. Brilliant. And just look at some of those adjacencies. +9 on commercial. Oh, and here we go. One of my favourite wonders in the entire game, though. I will admit, it's a bit of an odd one, this game. Because all you need to do, once you've got Kilwa, is be suzerain of 2 city-states of an appropriate colour, and your entire empire gains a 15% boost of that colour. So, 2 purple city-states, all of a sudden, you have got a 15% culture boost across the entire empire. It is huge and incredible, and I love using it to make my science explode. Small interesting thing, this game. There is not a single science city-state. Not one has spawned that I have located yet. It is ridiculous. And I tell you what, I can take Jerusalem to get, yes, empire-wide 50% faith boost. So, straight up to 92. Which would be like 150 higher if we didn't have this dumb religious war going on. Okay, you know what? Screw it. We're going to have to go in and sort this out ourselves. Train an Eastern Orthodox apostle. Alright, all I need to do is wait for somebody to send in a missionary, we kill the missionary, and that is a huge burst of religious pressure in every direction. We are now part of Eastern Orthodoxy. The majority of people are now locked down in that regard, and that is, honestly, a lot better as far as I'm concerned. Okay, I think we've reached the stage in terms of money, where at this point, yes, I can start catching up in a hurry just by tossing cash at it. So, Kyoto just finished off its campus district. So, no. How about we just buy a library? That's going to be much, much faster. Okay, we are about to enter the industrial era, and yes, we are not going into another golden age. But honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. To be honest, most of these settlements up here are not doing that much. They only exist so they can generate trade routes, because the trade route to Tokyo is basically generating, well, let's put it this way. I'm not sure I'm really generating much culture in my empire, like maybe 1 or 2 theatre districts. And yet you can see at the top there, I'm actually one of the top culture producers in the world. A very large part of that is coming from my trade routes. And beyond that, don't forget now we've changed over to Eastern Orthodoxy, we are getting a ton of bonus culture out of all our religious buildings. Although I will admit, after seeing, yes, so much Golden Age, the map does look very sad and drab now it's not just a glowing gold. And monumentality is dead as well, but that's fine, because Reform the Coinage says era score every time you complete a trade route. Well, I've got 13 trade routes and rising. And because they're all small local trade routes, they get done very quickly and get straight back out again. In fact, on the topic of culture, having basically ignored it and just gained it passively the entire game, Japan does something really weird in the late game. Which is sure it can't gain tourism thanks to trade routes, but the moment you generate flight, every district starts generating bonus tourism. Which is also going to be pretty much the exact moment you're starting to think about electronics factories, generating giant piles of culture in all your industrial zones. Which is also the exact moment when all of a sudden, yes, your districts are reaching critical mass and spamming ridiculously powerful theatre districts becomes quite easy to do, in fact. And if you're just a bit behind, don't you worry, we can toss our ridiculous economy at just spamming art museums. And in no time whatsoever, that tourism, currently only 27, oh, that's gonna start going up in a hurry. Right, barely 5 turns later, I'm now pretty much tying with the biggest culture producers in the world, and we've hit industrialization. And here we go, the electronics factory can now be constructed, which is a very odd building actually. Because you build it, and it makes production, and then it gains culture after researching electricity. Suggesting it was entirely intended that you would build an electronics factory before discovering electricity, which is definitely a bit on the odd side. And now we've hit industrialization, let's discover how to fly. And perfect timing, we can start leveling up the Hermetic Order. So, you know what? Screw universities, let's get the Alchemical Society building out. Which is so much better, okay? So, Campus District starts generating gold equal to Science Adjacency, which you can of course double up, which is just beautiful. Production, Science, Housing, and so many different great people points. Oh, and here comes a flight, which just doubled my tourism from 40 to 88. So, over at the Hermetic Order, we're also ready to go up to level 3. I was just a bit late getting into level 2. So, Magus. For every great person earned, ley lines receive a yield equal to that person's district type, and guess how many great people I've been recruiting? Enough to make this tile immediately worth 7 gold and 2 science, and we're only just getting started. These tiles could get ludicrous. Oh, here we go. A huge one for Japan, given you are trying to build megacities, urbanization, and thus neighborhoods. Finally, the housing crisis can be resolved. Just for fun, Russia decided to try and put a city on my continent, not getting the memo it was my continent, so they've just flipped to me, no problem whatsoever. Oh, and I completely missed this, but we've got an engineer coming in. Oh yeah, Ada Lovelace can let cities build more districts the population should allow. Flipping love it. Oh, and speaking of which, what a perfect spot for a water park right there. That's going to be helping a lot of cities. If you were curious, by the way, routes to Tokyo are now up to 7 food, 4 production, over 20 gold, 7 science, 7 culture. We have, however, lost the faith. Because my friends up north, bloody hell did some other civs want them more. I'm not paying that many diplomats to get them back. Sorry, my mistake, just dumped down the government plaza, kinda forgot to do that at the start of the game. I meant +8, +5, +24, +8, +8. Okay, industrial era is almost over, and as I expected, yeah, very comfortable golden age, the vast majority of which is just a giant number of trade routes constantly starting and restarting. Like, you can see the number of traders, damn it. Oh yes, and I also snuck in the, what's it called? Diplomatic quarter with the consulate and whatnot. So yes, the routes to Tokyo are also now looking like this. Okay, even Mali cannot manage anything even nearly this good. They could manage better gold, but the science, the culture, the production in particular, it is ludicrous. And not only a golden age, the only golden age in the world. Now unfortunately, that does actually make Reform the coinage much worse, because suddenly it's only international. But I will say, campus adjacency providing production, that's not bad. That'll do very nicely. Oh, and here we flipping go. Welcome to communism, comrades. Okay, fine. In terms of, yeah, policy cards, democracy would be nice. However, communism comes with something I cannot possibly turn down. And that is collectivization. +2 production and +4 food from all domestic trade routes, yes. Oh, and just for fun, how about we also have a space program? We don't need it, we're going to win just because our country's so much better than everybody else's, and everyone's going to come over, look at it, and agree. But screw it, I just enjoy showing off. People aren't just routinely coming and begging me for luxury resources at this point, by the way, and they do get them, but only on one condition. I want some form of great work of art or similar in return. Couple of last minute twists, mind, which is, yes, I think the AI's figured out I'm the biggest threat, given a lot of bloody recruiting partisans is occurring. So I've had to, just buy some military to keep that under control, given a lot of people are showing up and causing trouble. We're just sending in, modern line infantry. All the rest of it shouldn't be a major problem, really. I wouldn't even mind the partisans if they didn't keep messing up my bloody trade network. And it is very carefully balanced, okay? You've got to figure out the right ratio between traders going into big cities to get the benefit out of them versus leaving big cities to feed the big cities to keep them growing towards the next district. So it is very annoying when bloody partisans just come in and start smashing everything. Okay, so my culture's looking good, but I will give props to Poland. They're doing a good job keeping up, and that's going to slow down my victory. But I've got a plan. Like we discussed previously, I've got Kilwa, meaning if I can just lock down 2 purple city-states, I am in good shape. That has proven to be more difficult than I was anticipating, so yeah, there was a bandit camp up here, that's become a proper purple city-state now, so I've locked that down. The others, however, are unfeasibly far away from being taken, like 4+. Though, then I realised something. I was just sitting on a great admiral whose only job is to go up to a city-state and say, hey, you belong to me now. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to become the suzerain, and then everybody else gets to naff off. And with that, oh flippin' yeah. Did my culture just jump to 861? Why yes it did, because Kilwa is the best wonder in the game. And here come the idiots with their piles of free great works, just further speeding up my tourism win, because they desperately need aluminium. Brilliant. Seriously, I've recruited like 2 great artists in the entire game. 90% of this is just me trading for coal, aluminium, niter, whatever. Just one thing to keep an eye on though, make sure Peter doesn't pick up 7 victory points, though I do not see how he would do that before I can lock down culture. Okay, against the culturally weaker civs, this is going very well. We've now taken dominant position over the Ottomans. However, I can't help but notice that Russia is sending rock bands into my territory. So I'm sure you'll all agree the most sensible option is to ban music. Okay, here's a bit of an interesting twist. Got a great merchant here. 25% additional tourism towards any civilization I've got a trade route with. Okay, I know it's not really my thing, but in theory, there are going to be a couple of difficult holdouts here, in particular Russia and Poland. Everyone else is going to fall, no problems. I'd say we just need to do a little bit of trading with some outside folks just to, make sure they get the message. And just to rub it in, I'm going to send the trader from their own city that defected to my empire. Okay, it is a truly terrible trade route, but screw it, we need to do this for the sake of the tourism. Oh, and we're not quite done yet. I think we might be able to get, very nearby to a complete bloody set of districts in Tokyo. There is now nothing left apart from preserve, encampment, and aerodrome. So, okay, we might not be able to get all 3. There's only so much space in this damn city, but we could get pretty close by. Screw it, get an airport over on this island over here. That's a lovely spot for an airport, okay? When people fly in, they get to see wonders and cities, and why have we not actually built anything on those crabs, or like, any of this? Oh, Greece, you absolute bastards. Okay. So apparently their view is if they can't have this city-state, then no one can. They've just gone and murdered it. Meaning, I've just lost my bonus. Okay, I'm starting to get just a little bit nervous about Peter, currently on 16 points. So, okay, he can't be allowed to win. Oh, there are 3 aid requests going on at once. And he's going to want to win all of them, isn't he? Okay, we need to shovel our huge economy to Australia to make sure they don't win this. Slap down shopping malls everywhere. I want more and more cocking tourism. Alright, listen, Curtin. I don't like you and you don't like me either, but I'm not having Peter just charging in at the end of the game. Not acceptable. And if you're curious, I think this is as good as it's going to get. 13 food, 8 production, 25 gold, 10 science, and 10 culture per trade route into Tokyo. Beautiful. Oh, and there goes my rocket, by the way, because yes, I can go to space. Still, nice to finally see what's going on in the rest of the world, given I've previously been paying no attention to it whatsoever. Poland locked down a large southern part of their continent, doing a pretty bloody nice there. Honestly, everybody's got about the same amount of land by the looks of it. Though Arabia definitely seems to have, yes, had the worst of it. They are definitely a bit squeezed in. Okay, final turn with John Curtin, and we are over 1,000 points ahead. However, Russia is sitting on 3.5 grand. So, just in case, I'm going to send him another 3.5 grand. In case Russia decides to give literally all the money they've got to Australia. Okay, we've won that emergency, we've locked down the points, though there are 2 more aid contests. And one of them's me, so I can't enter that one, though, yes, mysteriously Russia's decided they dislike me so much, they're not going to take the free victory points, which is fascinating. They do, however, most definitely want the ones for Nubia, so, okay, those we can lock down too. Okay, it's just Poland remaining. We need to go and wage, yes, tourism war on Poland. So, using Baghdad, didn't take this by the way, it chose to join me, it's all fine. We just need to spend my ridiculous pile of faith on nothing but rock bands. Okay, we are going to defeat Poland with rock music. Also, I just bloody realised, John, there are so many mountains inside your empire that are not currently ski resorts. Make them into ski resorts. Here we go. 1 ski resort for you. 1 ski resort for you too. Tired of skiing? How about skiing in the desert? It doesn't make sense, but try it anyway. Okay, slightly unnerving. World Congress is in session. 2 points are available. I'm going to put everything I've got into giving them to me. I don't know if that's going to be enough, minds. Nope. As it turned out, Pete had enough points to get the 2. So, okay, that's mildly concerning. That one I can win. I've got so many stadiums, etc. Meanwhile, Poland, what a bunch of dicks, have said I can't perform in their territory, which admittedly I did to them too, but still. Oh, flip me. Peter needs just 1 point to win this, and there are texts that give him 1 point. I don't know if he's got them yet or not. Throw any money we've got at anything that will yield culture or anything at all. Like art museums. Here you go. Shopping mall. There you flipping go too. Okay, I'm deeply worried Russia's about to steal this from me. So, screw communism. We can do without it. We don't need all that extra food. We're going to digital democracy. +2 culture for every single speciality district. It's going to be a lot of culture. And this is also going to give me plenty of space for new policies, like say, yeah, more tourism from great works of music. Extra culture from theatre squares. I've got plenty of bloody big theatre squares. Oh, even more tourism if I've got a trade route. That I do have with my main competitor, Poland. There we go. If that doesn't do it, I don't know what bloody will. Okay, tourism has jumped to almost 650. Also, ice caps melting in a hurry. Kind of my fault, I am burning a lot of coal, that's true. Okay, in which case now it's just a question of accumulate as much as I can in terms of, yeah, music. Music in particular is going to be an absolute game changer. Okay, one more trick up my sleeve, and seriously, I'm running out of those right now. Pingala, curator, 100% tourism from everything good in that city. And I've set up his city to be properly themed. So, okay, that should be a fair amount of tourism. Okay, if we can't win in culture, we can win by going to space. I've got plenty of people who could just help me go to space. There we go, now we're on Mars. Still not good enough. 4 turns, we could go to another galaxy. It's gonna be fine. Okay, my entire empire is going to be set to theatre square festivals. We're just going to have a party. Everything else is cancelled. Nothing else happens. We're just going to produce nothing but culture. Okay, we can cooking do this. You know, I just spotted. It's 6 turns to a new era. An era I'm going to be going into a golden age. Oh, there has got to be something we can do there. I can't remember the exact, dedications, but... oh, that could be my salvation. Okay, in addition, use the faith and money I've got to just lock down everything I can as fast as I can. Alright, we need every musician, everything. I'm generating 3 times more culture than anybody else in the world. Probably more culture than the rest of the world combined. My entire empire is set up exclusively to generate tourism. This should not be as hard as it is. But then again, this is data difficulty. The AI is cheating hardcore. Like, all the time. Okay, it's 1838. We've hit the information era. And I don't appear to have lost yet. Meaning, okay, everybody's in a cocky golden age apparently. Oh, bloody hell, wish you were here as mainly national parks. That's completely cocking worthless. Here we go, more money for more books. There's got to be somewhere that's still got space for some books somewhere in the bloody empire. Oh no!
From the dust to which our civilization first rose, so too shall we return. As the light of our people fades to nothingness, we wonder if one will rise to rekindle our flame.
Okay, we're not going to look at that word defeat at the top, okay? We're going to look at every single metric by which I won the game. So, player score, I won the game. Building constructed, I won the game. Player era score, I won the game. See, my empire clearly has not collapsed into dust and nightmares. It's fine. In fact, give it like, you know, a few years, we'll have gone to a different galaxy. A better galaxy. A galaxy that doesn't have Peter in it. Still, I will say I love this Civ, even if they couldn't quite give me a victory today. Like, this is right up there for me with Mali and Portugal. I still think you're amazing, and you came bloody close to pulling off the win. If I'd just been paying a bit more attention to the victory points earlier in the game, I bet I could have stopped that. So, bad luck there, but still, won a hell of a game down to the wire. I had a great time playing it. Hope you've had a great time joining me this evening, and hopefully we will see some Civ 6 again in future. We shall flipping see. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Civilization 6. Thank you very much, and goodbye. I've created a small problem in my road system, which is it's literally impossible for anyone to ever go back into town. And this building shall be where we produce our zebras. And this much taller building next door is naturally where we produce the giraffes. Does anyone remember how the road system went? I think it was something like this.